I feel like Jung really snapped me out of my dual thinking, the black versus the white, good versus evil, sin versus merit, and made me realize that in reality actually exists within the gray. Plugging out of this matrix, because our universe is based on duality, is seeing through the black and white and seeing that reality actually exists within the gray. It's a lot more complex and a lot more nuanced. No one is fundamentally good nor fundamentally evil. There's this really vast middle ground. It's not even a spectrum, because you need to learn to see past the concepts of good and evil. And reality doesn't care if you're nice. Reality just follows its laws, for example, law of attraction. And as you can see, perceivingly bad people attract things all the time. Why? Because reality doesn't care if they're bad. God doesn't care if something bad's happening, because God isn't a personality. God isn't a person. God doesn't have a moral compass. This is where I diverge from a lot of people. But it's a lot more complex than that. Essentially, we're in this universe that has fragmented itself into tiny aspects, parts of itself, in order to realize itself within those parts and then realize itself as a whole. And in order for it to do that, it must break itself into all of the perspectives. Some of those perspectives being bad perspectives. And again, linking it back to Jung, the shadow. The shadow is a really important aspect of ourselves, of society, of source consciousness. And it's really important to acknowledge that these shadowy beings, these shadowy experiences have its place from a broad objective standpoint. That I think once you realize that this lifetime is about really experiencing and learning and growing versus being happy, you realize that like being nice is not enough. Being nice is like, well, she was nice enough. Like, you're generally harmless, congrats. Quote that JP says. Jung also says that the goal in life shouldn't be to achieve happiness, it should be to achieve wholeness. And that wholeness only comes with the integration of your shadow. So diving into the deepest, darkest parts of yourself, accepting the cruelty within you, the aggression, the jealousy, the greed, the power, the need, the desire, the all of these shadow aspects of yourself. And only once you've integrated that, as well as the light stuff, it's yin and yang. It's a balance of both. It's the light in the dark in the light. And what we achieve then is balance. We achieve wholeness, a whole self, and a whole life, where you acknowledge that a part of life is, yes, being sick, suffering, going through immense pain, trauma, sometimes horrific things. That's all a part of this reality. It's all an important aspect of learning and growing.